Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Yeah.
SKTV, live from
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix,
Let me
Arizona.
see.
Mr. Johnson
It's
Mebonkura,
like
can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
yes, I'm getting you loud and clear, and all is set here from my end here in
Good morning.
Liberia.
Good morning from my end. I know it's good evening over there in Liberia. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, so we're definitely the time check is 3 minutes past 6 o'clock here in Liberia. That is 6 p.m. So it's in the evening time. Thank you. You're correct. Yes, all is well here in Liberia. Apart from some of the news that you're hearing about the rice shortage and the latest one that happened on Saturday about the 100 million worth of drugs. The kind of news that coming up, it's not just small news. So these are things that are really happening. But I guess that all set all is okay here when it comes to peace. Yes. Yeah, all is well. Now that the other country like Burkina Faso.
Well, we don't know about Burkina Faso, but when it comes to peace, I don't know if
Mm,
an hungry man is at peace, because we believe that there's a saying in Liberia. They say, "And a hungry man is an angry man." When you are hungry, you are never at peace. But whatever the case is, like somebody would say, ugly peace and bad peace is better than good word. so, so there's no good word. Any peace is better than anything that is not peaceful. But yes,
mhm.
indeed, I want to say thank you to each and everyone for following SKTV. Those of you listening to us on the radio, in the Republic of Liberia, through Truth FM 96.1. We want to say thank you once again for joining SKTV. And those of you joining us on Facebook, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. Let me. The very first person to join us today on Facebook is Gwen Johnson Smith and Regina Wilson, and as well as Ruth Robert Pengba. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV. Today, we are going to be discussing something that we normally do. When we have confluence of issue trending around our country, what we do what we call open mic. Open mic mean nothing is off the table and nothing is off limit as long as you remain within the confines of this platform, which is discussing issues, and nothing but the issues. I want to say thank you to all of you. I want to say good morning to Zola, Zoli Wesley, and Aliyu Sayon, and all everybody else that just joining on. Yomoti Kranga. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV, and I want to encourage you to share the show. So today, besides the topic, what's on your mind? Besides um, discussing everything Liberia, we also have some guests here today. We have guests from the ANC Global, the Alternative National Congress extended platform that is here called ANC Global. I think that is the platform that they used for most of their programming and fundraisers and everything that has to do with the ANC by extension. But the people will be here to tell us about the upcoming convention. I think this is annual convention that they use to raise funds, to give create political awareness, and give information about their people. But today, that particular part of it, we're going to be happening at the convention. You want to ask a question about Kumis. Kumis will be there himself to face you face to face to tell you exactly what is going on. What are some of the policy prescription he has for you and for the Liberian people. And then you want to have a one-on-one conversation with Kumis, possible. You want to see Kumis for the first time, at least interact with him, possible. So they are encouraging you to go there. And I'm speaking at this level from the SKTV perspective. We are paid to do this for you guys. So if you are an ANC person, you don't see me talking good thing about ANC today. Say, oh, maybe it's a good ANC. Oh, no, 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 no. We are doing this because we are paid to do so, and we are open to any political parties, any individual, any institutions, any financial institution or business, whatever you want to do, as long you pay us to do it, we will do it. That is the commercial aspect of the SKTV. However, we want to say thank you to all of you for following. Today, we're going to have with us Monica and Shatta, and they will be here to tell us, explain to us in detail as to how this whole thing going to play out. Speaking of the the convention of the ANC Global, so they will. I think the thing is about. I think it's a 3 days event. They have a lot of different things from the, I guess, from the 14th to the 16th, which means the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th. And possibly, some of you have not met me. Maybe I will be there. I'll try to be there because it's important. I'm not sure you're 100%, but I'm thinking. I'm really highly thinking about going there, so I can have the opportunity to meet a lot of the good people and have a conversation. Like we were invited the last time to the Liberty Party Summit, Liberty Party USA Summit. We went there. We covered the entire program for 3 days. They treated us very nicely. So at least outside of politics, we can say a lot of good things about Liberty Party without being, charged with or not being considered anything, because you know what, we were there. We saw it for ourselves. So it's always good. It's always good to go and talk to people and meet people. I've met Mr. Cummings in numerous occasions. For the first time I met Mr. Cummings, that was when he served as a keynote speaker at my inauguration as the president of the Liberian Mandingo Association in the United States, called FEMUSA. That's the largest Mandingo organization in the world. So he came here, he served as a keynote speaker, and when the installing officer did not show up, the mayor also accepted to serve as installing officer. He served in both capacities that time. That was back in 2015. That was way before, the election in 2017. So I met him that time. I met him the second time. We came here the other time at Maryland County's Association here program. So that was a great one too. So I'm not so eager to meet Mr. Cummings as the person, but there are a lot of good people in the ANC that I would like to meet as well. Interact with them, know who they are, get acquainted. So yes, indeed, those following us in Liberia, some of you may not make it to the program, but if you are in the United States, Canada, or anywhere closer, they're inviting you to be there. So the guests, I think one of the guests being here, Monica being here and ready to go. The other person is in and out. Hopefully, when that person gets situated, we will bring the guests on. They're not going to be here for a long time. They're going to be here purposely to discuss the upcoming convention. But then after that, we will jump into our normal routine, talking politics, talking anything that you can think of. But yes, indeed, on that note, let me bring our two guests here. I believe Steve Bole will be joining us later on, and also believe that Tevina Cole will be joining us as well. But let's get to our guests here. They will introduce themselves. They will tell you who they are. Maybe I may not do it correctly, or I may not do it better. They can do the good job by introducing themselves, tell us who they are, and then tell you what the convention is all about. Any political question you wait for tomorrow or another day, or you can ask me that question. Politics, they're not here to discuss politics. They're not here to tell you communist policy. They're not here to tell you, say, how many it's going to be for you. No. They want
Yeah,
to
that depends.
program. They want to encourage you. Like if you're in the tri-states, for example, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and in the Maryland, DC area. Oh, you're in North Carolina. All those are driving distance. The area that I'm calling to you now, Virginia, West Virginia. I'm calling all this area to you because I've been there. I've driven through all of them many, many, many times. So, from all the way down there, you can even drive from Atlanta if you want to be there. You can drive from all the way Atlanta to go there and be a part. So they are inviting you. So on that note, let's bring the guests here. This is Monica, ANC Global Convention 2022 manager. Oh, I
Yes.
want La Bio Maya. That's
That's it.
and then the other person here is Shatta. Okay,
Shut
I've been seeing Chapter on Facebook, but now good to see you in person. Uh, so
Good
good
to see
evening
you
to you
too,
guys. Good
Sekou.
afternoon to all of you. We have people listening to us on the radio in Liberia, and you have a lot of also people also following us on Facebook. And then, like I said, you guys are here to discuss the convention and convention only. We are not here to answer political questions. But just in case, if somebody asks you a question, anything related, unrelated to what you're here for, you can safely say, "I'm sorry, I know I cannot answer that question right now." Just in case, because people are adamant, people are so political. If you even you say today, my wife delivered, you say my wife delivered today. Now, watch out, I get they say which party you belong to. So yeah, so yes, indeed. Welcome and good afternoon to the both of you. I don't know where you are from, but I'm thinking you are from the East Coast, where it's in the afternoon right now. Good afternoon to you,
Thank you.
and we can go. Uh, we can go from the right, Monica. Since you were here first, I'll go
Yes.
with you. How
Thank
you
you so
doing?
much.
And how you been? And take a minute and tell us who you are, please.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, first, Sekou, to you and your co-host for having us on to let people know about the ANC Global Convention that's happening in another less than 2 weeks, actually, from the 14th to the 16th. My name is Monica Koenig, and I have the pleasure of serving. I'm a servant. I'm serving as the convention manager, and that's just a fancy title for someone who does a little bit of everything with a lot of help from a lot of people. So this is a team effort for ANC Global and Ciara Townsend. I'm glad she's here with me. She's one of the key folks who, along with a lot of other people, are helping us to put this on. As I mentioned, the ANC Global Convention 2022 is being held in the DMV area. As you said, thank you, Sekou, for letting people know that we are central. We are within driving distance from a lot of places. So even if it wasn't in your plans before, please let this be the thing that piques your interest for you to come and join us. We have a packed weekend from Friday, October 14th, where we'll do the welcome and the meet and greet and registration at the Nyamburu Cultural Center at the University of Maryland in College Park. That's a very central location. It's in Prince George's County. And the business meeting will also be held there on Saturday morning. The banquet and fundraiser is happening at Martin's West in Windsor Mill. That's near Baltimore, Maryland. It's right off 95. So even if you can't come to any of the other activities, put on your dancing shoes and join us there to hear from our SB, hear from our guest speaker. We have two guest speakers. One is Mr. Winfred Russell, who is a city councilman in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and he's actually running for mayor. And so we're privileged to have a Liberian in the diaspora who is also climbing the political ladder here. And we want him to share some of his wisdom with us. And we also have a young lady called Samrika Zogar. She's a person with disabilities, and she will be talking to us about how people with disabilities are able to navigate, in the world. And that's something that is important for us as Africans because we tend to hide our disabled people in Africa, and it's an unfortunate thing. And so we want to spotlight that, ANC is about empowering people who are often left behind. Children are left behind, youth are left behind, women are left behind. And that's, our primary focus and looking at the whole community. But these are key parts of the community that we're focusing on. And we crown off our weekend on Sunday with a church service at Trinity Episcopal Church in Washington, D.C. The rector of that church is also a Liberian. And so he's graciously allowing us to worship with them and to have a little brunch afterwards. Always have to feed people. So to feed the people who have hung with you the whole time. So we really do hope that people take this opportunity to come and join us to hear from these fantastic guest speakers. And as you so rightly mentioned, get a chance to meet Mr. Cummings. This is the place where you can ask your questions. I cannot be Mr. Cummings's mouthpiece. It's better to get it, as they say, from the horse's mouth. So if you want an opportunity to get it from the horse's mouth, this is an open opportunity for you. He will be at all four events that I just mentioned: the Friday welcome, the Saturday business meeting, the Saturday banquet and fundraiser, and at church on Sunday and at the brunch afterwards. So please take this opportunity. Any questions that you may have, if you're in the DC area, please join us for that on that weekend to have um, an opportunity to meet not just Mr. Cummings, but other members of his team. He is going to be making that announcement shortly, I understand. And so you'll have this opportunity to hear what the plans are from that perspective, but to also help a good cause because ANC Global, yes, it is part of the fundraising arm of ANC Liberia, but it's also interested in doing things to uplift Liberians in Liberia and in the diaspora. So thank you for this opportunity.
Wow. That was great. Thank you. No,
No
no
worries.
wonder why you are the chair of, you are the manager. No
Yeah.
wonder why you are the convention manager. This other person here, Shiata Thompson, she always write and write and write. So now we got to hear from her today. Shiata, how are you?
Guilty. Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, Sekou and Mayborn. And thank you so much, Miss Monica. You have done a stellar job of leading this effort and coordinating everything. So I just want to say thank you to you. And thank you to your audience, of course, for tuning in. Yes, I am used to being down there in the comments section, typing, typing, typing. So,
Yeah.
um, but I'm glad to be here to, like Miss Monica said, just let everybody know that NC Global is having our convention. It's October 14th, Baltimore, Maryland, 14th through the 16th. It'll be an all weekend thing. We Liberians, we want to take up your whole weekend. There'll be plenty of opportunities to meet with Mr. Cummings, to interface with some of the ANC people that you might see. We got people from Liberia coming. We have Liberty Party people, of course. We are CPP. So we have people coming from all over, and of course, all Liberians from all political, persuasions are going to be in attendance and are going to, want to be a part of the event. We have a lot planned. Like Miss Monica said, we have wonderful guest speakers. Um, and we just want to invite everybody to come on out, ask your questions, meet Mr. Cummings, ask the hard questions. We don't hide him or guard him. He's very, very open. Um, so yeah, I mean,
Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is very interesting. Like I said, I'm thinking about going because
Please.
I'm not sure yet 100%, but I'm really thinking about going there because it's also an opportunity for to get to know each other in person. There are a lot of
Absolutely.
people. There are a lot of people. They can run their mouth, on Facebook. When we see them in person, they shy. So I want to see all these people and talk to them in person and see, we can get acquainted. But whatever the case is, no matter which political party you belong to, I think it's important to associate with other people. You got to know them,
Absolutely.
and you don't have to support somebody or vote for somebody to get to know them. There are certain people when you meet them, that could be a turning point that can change your mind, for or against, either way.
Exactly. Exactly.
But for on a positive note, there are a lot of people when you get to know them and meet them, you change your mind, for them.
right.
Um, Depending, what you're looking for in a person in
Mm.
terms of leadership. But you can want to ask you, the both of you, anybody can go first.
Mhm.
So somebody who is not a member of the ANC Club or ANC as a whole,
Mhm.
give me one reason why they should come there to be a part of this. Just one reason.
So let me tackle that and go back to what I mentioned before in terms of the other guest speaker, the non-political person, a young lady, Samrika Zogar. As I said, she's a person with challenges, with a disability, but she doesn't see herself as less of a person, which is unfortunately the manner in which people who have her similar circumstances are treated in the world, right? And so this is an opportunity to hear from this young woman, just as a person, as a human being, as someone who is blessed with life, and is here, one of God's gifts. And just to hear from her, these are some of the kinds of things that ANC Global does. So yes, we as an entity are a political organization, but the focus is not just on politics, it's uplifting those who are often left behind, right? The youth are often left behind because they're in that in between. You're not a child and you're not quite an adult yet to be on your own, so they're left behind. Women are often left behind because traditionally in Africa, a woman is supposed to be two steps behind her man or her father or her brother, right? The men are the ones who are supposed to be in the forefront, right? And so women are often left behind. And as a result, we have whole communities left behind because a lot of times, whether we want to admit it or not, communities consist of women and children, right? And so if those people are left behind, you have left out a major part of any society. And Liberian society is not an exception to this rule. And so even if you don't have a political bone in your body, but you are a person who has empathy for others, this is an opportunity to come and hear what ANC is about, hear about those things, not just the political things, but also the human side of things. And that may be something that you can see your way clear to assist with. And if that is the case, please, ANC is a big tent. And when we say that, people tend not to believe us, but it really and truly is because it's not looking at just the politics. You know, politics is important, but has to trickle down to the ordinary person on the street. And that's where our focus is. Has always been. ANC has not been in power in Liberia and anywhere else, but we're still looking out for those people who are disenfranchised.
I'm sorry. I don't even know who muted me. Maybe Melbourne muted me. Maybe don't want me to talk about
Never
it.
say he want you to talk too much.
Maybe muted me from all the way
Yeah,
down there.
because I try enjoying the manager, you know, the
You
manager
see,
just
you may enjoying the lady. He doesn't want me to say something. But
seriously.
anyway, thank you for muting my line. But folks, if you just joining on, this is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona, also live on Truth FM 96.1 in the Republic of Liberia, Painesville to be specific, and to be more specific, Dupo Road Junction, there where we are right now. Yes, yes, indeed. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us again. So another question is that the purpose, one of the major reasons for these conferences is about raising funds for the institution.
Yes.
So can you talk to me about a little bit about how you're going to do the fundraiser? It's like, is it going to be like people are going to pay to enter? And if
Yes.
so, how much people are going to pay? Because some people can buy ticket way ahead.
Yes.
Some people can say, well, since I don't get ticket to go there, how would I go? How would they contribute? You can just come and walk in and pay. So I just want you to walk me through
Okay.
the fundraiser aspect. Tell us so that somebody like me,
Right.
because me, I don't get money. So let's say I'm buying ticket right now, but I'll go there and I'll say, okay, today I decide to go now.
Yep.
How am I going to contribute to the process?
So we have tickets that are available for admission to the fundraiser at $100 to that event. A $200 ticket would get you into all 4 events that I mentioned at the top of the program. And then we have tickets that go up from there. So there's a $500 ticket, there's a $1,000 ticket, there's a $500 ticket, a $1,500 ticket rather. And for $2,500, you can get a table of 10.
500, you're talking about US or LeBron?
Yeah, no, US dollars. So your the basic.
I'm just pulling a leg. I know.
No, that's okay. Let me go away again. No, you give me one more. You give me one more chance to go away again. Right, Devon?
Well, yeah. So, but definitely, so you gotta go.
So one more time.
Yes.
So we have the general admission to the banquet and fundraiser on Saturday. That's at Martin's West. That's $100 to that event. $200 gets you into all 4 events. So that's Friday, 2 on Saturday, including the fundraiser, and Sunday. And then the tickets from there up is dependent on somebody's generosity, right? If you are feeling more generous towards the programs that we have, as I've discussed here, not just the political side of things, then you can bring your $500 and we thank you very much. If you feel even more generous, you can bring more. All right. And so $750, you can bring $1,000. Look, at this point, what I tell people is anything above the general admission is appreciated. Remember the story about the widow's mite? No amount of money is too small
Mhm.
because many hands made light work. So when you put those little bits of money together, if you have a lot of people doing a little, it adds up to a lot, right? So we
Mhm.
cannot depend on a few people to bring plenty, even though if the few people bring plenty, we will take it. But if a lot of people bring a little, it also adds up, and it adds up in the numbers who hearing the message and who can put their hands together to help us to uplift communities.
So let's say somebody who is not going to be at all the other functions
Mhm.
just want to go party because they tell us the ANC girl, all the beautiful girls and all the beautiful women there. They just want to go party. They
Hundred
just want
bucks.
to go for that one night, right?
$100. That's it.
Mhm.
How much you gonna pay to just enter and go have
hundred
fun?
bucks. That's it.
Just for that one night. It's
That's for
just
that one night.
Saturday night. Yeah.
$100. That's it. And
and that's gonna
you can purchase your tickets at any point during the weekend, at the door, at the event, before the event.
and that's gonna be when that mean
So
dancing
that
party
main event
Saturday.
is Saturday evening from 7 o'clock to 2 a.m. the next morning at Martin's West, 6817 Dogwood Road, Windsor Mill, Maryland. That's a suburb of Baltimore, but it's right off 95. You can see Martin's West on 95 as you're driving down. And some of you may have seen it and not known that that was what it was, but it's a landmark in the Baltimore area. So that's the main event.
Shatta, so the political leader himself is gonna be in the dance, he was kicking dogs and everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. He'll be there. He'll be there. All events. Yeah.
Is he gonna be dancing buka or which one?
I
Because
mean,
because because they are election here in Labrador, it gonna include buka dancing competition too.
we'll
Yeah,
dance.
yeah.
Don't worry.
Mhm.
Don't worry.
So then there were our
We'll
comment
dance
as
whenever
to
you're
which type of artists are we will be gracing the occasion on that day. I'm talking about
Um,
the dancing one, yeah, the one
Entertainment, right?
the other yeah.
yeah, the entertainment, we have a local cultural troupe that is going to be doing some performances for us
Okay.
at the event. So that's the cultural aspect of it. And of course, we have a DJ who is going to be keeping people on the floor while we in between the couple of presentations that we have also have a leadership award that is going to be given, three leadership awards. Unfortunately, ANC lost one of its stalwart leaders, Jenkins Cooper, earlier this year, and so three awards are being named for him. One at the executive level, one at the regional functional area level, and one at the chapter level. And so we will also have that as part of the program in honor of his dedication to the work of ANC from its inception. He's someone who, worked tirelessly for Liberia and for Africa. From the time he was a young man, he worked with USAID in Liberia. And when he came to the US afterwards, he worked for 3 decades with a company that worked all around Africa, raising the education level, raising the health level, and whatnot. So Africa and Liberia was always at his heart. And so this is something that we're trying to continue by recognizing the leadership within ANC at these three levels. So that's something else that will be part of the program on Saturday.
So Shatta,
Beautiful.
are you in a Maryland area too, or you are in Minnesota?
No, I'm in Maryland.
No, I'm talking about
Oh,
Shatta
Sierra.
Oh,
Thompson.
me, I am in Texas. Yes, I'm the
Oh,
Texas
in
chapter
Texas.
coordinator. Uh-huh.
Where in
Houston.
Texas? Houston
Yeah,
or Dallas? Or Houston.
Houston,
Okay.
Texas.
So are
But
you gonna be in
I'm the
Maryland as
coordinator
well?
for all of Texas.
You gonna be in Maryland?
I'll be there, of course. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
You
I'm
ready for
coming. A lot
you
of
ready for this?
our
You ready for dancing
Texas.
competition?
You say what? I'm
You
sorry.
ready
Go
for the
ahead.
dancing competition?
Dancing competition.
I'll be a judge. I'll be
Oh,
the judge. So
I,
everybody, keep your
you
comments
see,
kind.
yeah, I even say I'm going here with his skill already.
Why you don't want to kick
No,
dogs?
no, I'm
He's
not
going to be
scared.
a judge.
I'll be judge. I'll be judging.
Okay,
Uh,
no problem. No problem. No problem. Maybe if I'm not sure yet, but maybe if I go there, me and Kumis will have a dancing competition.
No, if they play Buga, me and you will do it. Me and you.
Una
I
buka
will
you can
find
dance.
you, and me and you will
No, no,
Buga.
no. I want then my traditional labra song.
Oh, okay.
They will come to buka. I'll bring my gay and we are.
Uh, I'll save you a dance though, for sure.
Anyway, so yes, in the this is very good thing. So I'm still want to know where you can do your money. Me, I want to know. So how much you guys and thinking about raising overall after the 3 day
So
event?
yeah, so
Because when you
we
say
have
we hear say when you say ASU Global, their fundraiser they can do it bigly.
Mm.
So bigly, yeah. So how much are you thinking about raising for the 3 days?
so we're stretching ourselves. We're trying to raise $1 million over the 3 days, and I look at it
Hold
this
on. 1 million United States dollar.
1 million United States dollars. Yes. So I look at it this way. My mother always used to say, "You set your sights for the moon, right? And when you're reaching for the moon, if you fall down, you will land among the stars. Dust yourself off, get back on that ladder, and start coming back to reach the moon." So, as you say, rightly so, ANC Global has managed to raise some big dollars in the past.
Because the last time I heard that in 2 hours time you guys raised over 100,000 or something like that in
Yeah.
2 hours.
So,
Yep.
we're trying for bigger, and we hope to get there. And if we don't, listen, we'll land among the stars, and we'll count ourselves lucky and blessed.
And after the program, are you guys gonna announce to the public how much you make because we want to know?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
We are required to keep records of our fundraising efforts, and so yes.
Right. And also to that, for those who maybe won't be able to make it, and I would post the link, but I'll ask anybody watching. You can contribute,
Yes,
at any time, even
at
if you're
any
not
time.
coming to the event,
Yes,
you
Okay.
know. I'll post the link here in a minute. Or you can contact me if you're interested in contributing. Also, if you don't have to wait till the 14th through the
nope.
16th,
Please
this is an
contribute now.
ongoing effort. you
Yes,
know we have a big push, and we're making a big push for that weekend. But of course, ANC Global always is looking for anybody who wants to support. And so we'll get that link out there. If it's this Friday when you get paid, or if it's the Friday after the event, at any time.
yes,
And it's
absolutely.
important what you said, Miss Monica, when you talked about, every dollar counts, every LD counts. you know it's all, part of the whole that we're trying to make. So,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
encourage people to give if they believe in the change and they want to see these changes in Liberia. No amount is too small. Yeah.
It's www.ancglobalgroup.com. Hit the contribute button to
So
contribute.
what you guys need to do in order to help you guys, you send us the web link
Okay.
and we will post it on SKTV. Um, that's part of the help with that. That one is not part of what you're paying for anyway. But to
It's part of the
be,
help.
I want to be nice, to you
Oh,
guys.
thank you.
Send us the link, we will post it, and anybody whoever want to contribute, they can go through that, and just click the link. They take you guys to the website and
Absolutely.
allow them to contribute. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
what I want to do here is that we're gonna be leaving you guys shortly, but before we do, I want to open the line for people. Maybe somebody have one or two questions that I cannot answer for them or for you guys.
Okay.
I want to open the line. Whoever want to contribute. Um, I'm not going to open the line for Liberia right now when we talking politics and everything else. We're going to open the line in Liberia, but right now we're going to open the line in the diaspora. But if you're in Liberia, your call can still come through anyway. Anywhere you are, you can call. But the number to call right now is 480-862-0783. That number has also WhatsApp and regular calls. And the other direct number is 480-401-2081. That is our regular number. So we want to encourage you to share the show. We want to encourage you to call in right now, this minute. If you have Any question, if you have any question for the ANC Global team here, um, their coming here was just for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. But we want to give them the opportunity to be here and take advantage of being here. So those of you who may have questions that I cannot answer, ask them. They are here. As you can see, the people are very eloquent. They know exactly what they're talking about. They did their homework before coming here because when you come to SKTV, if you can't hear, you start scratching your head, and people are going to be laughing at you. Well, people know exactly what they're talking about. They understand exactly what it is. But if you have a question, call in. The two numbers are there. You have 480 or 480-401-2081. Call in and ask your question. So while we await people to call in, I still have a question.
Mhm.
Me, I let to know. So Mr. Cummings going to be attending all the 3 days programs.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Hmm. Okay. So again, maybe those people who just joining us may not capture the explanation as to how the 3 day going to play out. Can you go over there again?
Sure.
What's going to happen on Friday and
So,
how, and
mhm.
what's going to happen Saturday and Sunday? Just
Okay. So
briefly.
the weekend, the convention 2022 weekend kicks off on Friday, October 14th at 6 p.m. at the University of Maryland, Nyumburu Cultural Center. That's at 4018 Campus Drive in College Park, Maryland. College Park, Maryland is in Prince George's County and is a central point in the DMV area. University of Maryland is a well-known state school, but is also known throughout the U.S., and so it should be very easy to navigate to the campus. That's what kicks off everything. Is a welcome party, and for the ANC members who will be attending will also start their registration process at that point. The Saturday business meeting will also be held there at the same location at the University of Maryland Yumburu Cultural Center on Saturday morning, the 15th. Most important event of the whole weekend, the banquet and fundraising dinner is going to be held at Martin's West from 7 p.m. on October 15th to 2 a.m. on October 16th. The address for Martin's West is 6817 Dogwood Road in Windsor Mill, Maryland. That's a suburb of Baltimore. As I said before, Martin's West can be seen right off 95. So even if you didn't make plans to come, it's right off 95. It's very easy to access. We will close the weekend off with a church service on Sunday, October 16, at Trinity Episcopal Church on Piney Branch Road in Washington, D.C. This is Father John Harmon's church. For those people in the DMV area, they might be familiar with Father Harmon's church. He has been so gracious to allow us to worship with him and his congregation. And afterwards, we'll have a brunch at that location as well. And so that presents the schedule for the 3 days. Tickets can be purchased at ancglobalgroup.com. You hit the events button, but I also just put a flow code in the chat box for you to post Seku or Wayborn if you don't mind, Mayborn if you don't mind. That will get the folks to the ANC Global webpage to be able to purchase their tickets. If you know any ANC members, you can also contact them personally to purchase their tickets that way. But this way, it's in your hands and you can purchase at any time. Tickets will also be available at the door for all of these events. And so for contributions, as Ciara has indicated, you can also go to ancglobalgroup.com, hit on the contribute button, and then you will be able to contribute if you cannot attend. As we said before, no amount is too small to contribute. Please just make a contribution to help the efforts of ANC Global. As I said before, yes, it's it's a political organization, but it's also working to raise and empower the youth and women and communities in Liberia.
So yeah,
And
so thank you very much for that clarification. Um, I just got the link and I have already have it in the comment section, so anybody can just click on it and it will take you directly to the website. You want to give money right now, they'll be happy
Thank
to
you.
receive it.
Mhm.
And you want to do it later on, that's also fine.
Yes.
Yes, so it looks like people are not interested in calling me. It looks like you clarify everything, all the
Okay.
expectation, all the anxiety, everything that they want to know. You have given them everything.
Okay.
I want to give you both the opportunity again, 1 minute each to close or tell us exactly whatever, maybe something that I didn't ask or something that you want to add, something that we may not have touched, whatever the case is. You can go back again and repeat everything you said, just to remind people whatever you want to do, but at least 2 minutes each. To okay.
Sierra, I'll let you go first.
Hold on one second, because if nobody call now, then
Now they're calling.
now you're sending calling. If it's not for Yasini, I'm not going to pick up your call. I'm picking up the call because it's Yasini. That's why. You've been sitting there the whole time. You didn't call. When I say, come and let the phone go and then you call it.
Look, I saw that you were seeing the people not calling. But let me say thank you to SKTV and to Sekou for this journey thus far. I think there's a long way to go. And then the gentleman in the studio and all of your panelists. But let me say thank you to my two sisters in the studio. I'm sure they have somewhere to be today, but because of Liberia, they're out here talking and asking people, folks, Liberia, the country that we live in called America, you'll see it's election season. We are being called to contribute. The people that you believe in, that you think can bring the change, you have to support them. One of the reasons that a lot of good people don't take power in Africa, especially Liberia, is because we want them to have money to give to us. Whereas where we find ourselves, when things work out for us, we give to their parents to be able to make the decision so it can help boost them to get to what they need to get for them to advocate on our behalf. So I want to say thank you to Monica and Sierra for, being the face and voice for this journey. And if you're out here, you're Liberian like me, who support different parties in America, I think we have a responsibility to the next generation, to posterity. So put our best foot forward, especially if you're in the U.S. I would also ask that you, and Sekou said something earlier, folks, don't mind all the big mouths that Sekou makes on Facebook. He is very, very shy in person. He just smiles. He laughs all of the time if you're in his face. Okay, and that's the truth. So I think we all, whether you like the person or this program, come, let's ask the necessary question. We need to ask somebody. If one person shows up, let all of us come and ask him. Yep. If Mr. Kesem show up, it is our responsibility as citizens to scrutinize and ask all the questions that are hindered our country or the one that will help project the future of the country. If we do that, then we're educated people. That's how you make educated decisions. It does not mean you have a degree. It means you have an opportunity to dissect and or investigate where you want. Then you will know what you don't want. Then you will look for where you want to be able to do that. So that's it. Let me say thank you, Sekou. Say nobody wanted to go. I will take everybody's time. You thank you so much.
No, yeah, I will add. Yeah.
But guess why you started. When I say people were leaving, when you call in, everybody calling now.
Yeah, back to back.
Including Mr. John Maolo himself.
Well, look, let me just say, Sekou, as Yasini mentioned,
Okay.
no,
let me take all the way and put it out calling now. Because
okay, let's take the calls. Let's see what's calling
now. Okay, hold on. Caller, hold the line here. Mr. Maolo is already on hold. Oh, all the Georgia people there, Washington, Boston people there, everybody calling now. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take a few more calls. Then you're finished. Because I said to call, you don't want to call, and now you want to call. So caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? I think this is Mr. Maolo. Mr. Maolo, how are you?
How you doing, Sekou? And thank you very much for having our team out there.
No problem.
To Monica and Sierra, I want to say thank you very much for being very, very clear on where we stand, what we're aiming at, and where we intend to go. To all the listeners, we also want you to know that the CPP team is going to be there too. So if you need to meet them, ask them your questions, give them your ideas, hear what they have for the future. It's the time to be there.
Yes.
Be there because when you buy the ticket, you buy a package. The only ticket you will buy for one function is the dinner and fundraiser. But if you buy the bulk ticket, the 200 ticket and up, you buy for all four occasions, and all of them will be at all occasions.
Yes.
So you got plenty of time to talk to them, give them your ideas. You want to meet them one-on-one, individually. We got all options for tickets. So when you go on those web pages, there will be information there that you can use. You know, the higher prices of ticket, there's something that come along with it. So you want to know all of that.
Thank you.
Now the principal intent,
Okay.
the principal intent of all of this is to protect our votes in Liberia. We know what can happen. We know what happened in Lofa the other day. We're trying to avoid that by all means. We got to pay poll washers if we intend to win, if we intend to change what we're going through in Liberia, if we intend to have a better country, then we need to make the sacrifices that it takes to reach that end. So we are managing everybody. Please be there, and if you can, contribute. Thank you, and thank you again, Sekou.
No problem. Thank you very much. Three more calls. That's it. Because I already got the three people on hold. So caller, what is your name and where you calling from? 978 number, last four digit 2338.
My name is Augusta Speedplum, and I'm calling from.
Why are you calling on AS people and Diva? They made a joke. We are apologies. You may calling for anyway. You met my friend. You met my friend too. Maybe listening for everybody. Maybe the man want to come to me commis. Yeah, my man. How are you, Papi Flomo?
Yes. No, you are correct. I'm an unapologetic reaction, not a sedition. But my question is, I have the flyer here, and I went on the website. They got silver 200, gold 500, platinum 750, ruby 1,000, emerald 150. That's 1,500. Diamond 2,500, and ticket price per table is 2,000. Full table 2,500. Now my question for them is, there's an ANC member. I mean, I can afford. I might come, but as an ANC member or people who are aspiring of the ANC who may want to join the ANC, do you have any provision for those who can afford $200 that don't have any money? Do you have any? Can they attend the banquet? Can they attend the how you call it, the dinner or something? Do you have any low bit of provision for them? Can afford. Thank you.
Question about anyway.
So let me Sekou, let me attempt to answer. Let me
let me just take the last caller so I can't be bothered with calls anymore, please.
Okay.
Yeah. So caller, what is your name and where you calling from? Last four DJ 5683. Six.
My name is Eleanor Davis, and I'm calling from Loganville, Georgia.
Your name is?
Eleanor Davis.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Loganville. I want to say thanks to you people. I follow your show all the time, even though I don't say much on your show.
Thank you.
It's my first time calling. My question here is, now that the MP has joined with another party and consider themselves as CPP, and they're having the fundraiser here, members from the other party going to be able to attend the EMC convention or fundraiser?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. So go ahead now and answer some of the questions.
Yes, absolutely. So if I can,
And then after that, you guys can close.
Okay. If I can repeat what I heard Ms. Eleanor say, the question was, since ANC is now part of CPP, can the other parties who are part of CPP attend the events? Absolutely. This event is open. It's not a closed event. You purchase a ticket, you are welcome to attend. As I said, ANC is a big tent. So we're not checking membership cards at the door for people to come into the banquet and fundraiser. Folks are welcome to come into the meeting, the business meeting, which is open to the CPP, other CPP parties, as was mentioned by Yacindy. The Liberty Party folks will be there. this is an opportunity for people who have not decided who they want to throw their support behind. Because as was mentioned, those of us in the diaspora, we have family members in Liberia who we support. And those family members may be looking to us to say, okay, so what do you think? What did you hear from those people when they were on that side? So they may have questions that they have sent to their folks here in Liberia. So ask your family people in Liberia, what are your concerns? So we can ask the people when I meet them face to face, because the opportunity to meet these folks face to face in Liberia may be slim for them. But this is an opportunity for those of us in the diaspora to represent our people in Liberia. Say, tell me what you want me to ask them. So when I see them at one of these 4 events, I can ask them, say, my sister said I should ask you this, or my mom said I'm going to ask you this. This is the opportunity. It's open. As I said, as John mentioned, $100 gets you into the banquet alone. $200 gets you into all the events. And again, this is a fundraiser. We are trying to raise funds. You know,
Yeah,
I had
so I want you guys to answer Augustus' questions, because he asked somebody who don't have money and they want to go, they want to join ANC, but they don't have the money. Is there any provision? Is there anything there for them?
so the banquet and fundraiser, unfortunately, when you have events of this sort at a place as where we are having it, they are not giving it to us for free. We have to pay for that event. And it's pretty much being covered. That's why the $100 ticket covers only that event, because it pretty much is what is going to that's our cost
Okay.
for using that location. So that's why it's $100 for just that event. And it is a fundraiser, but we recognize that people who just want to come to have an opportunity to be a part of it, we are giving this to you at cost. So from a practical business perspective, we cannot afford, while we're trying to raise funds, we cannot afford to lose money in order to have people attend. But we can have people come at cost to us. So the $100 ticket for the banquet alone is what it costs us.
Right.
Okay.
And I will just add to what Miss Monica said. You know, this is a fundraiser. You know, our goal is to, fortify ourselves financially so that we can protect our votes, for this election. So it's important in that aspect. Now, for somebody who cannot financially afford to go for whatever reason, because the cost of airfare and lodging and all of that, it adds up. So then to pay a ticket on top of that can be expensive. So you have options. You can always contribute, from home and just not go. Also, if anybody who is very, very interested in going, who might have any other questions or just financial questions, like I think Papi Flomo had brought up, I would say contact your local chapter and just see, if there's any other options, but it is a fundraiser. Everybody has to be paid for. Nobody gets in free, but hopefully maybe your local chapter can work with you. Yeah. And if you need any references on who to contact, whatever state you're in, then you can inbox me and I'll get back to you.
No, he said he can afford. Maybe you got some
Yeah, he's
disenchanted.
talking about a friend.
Maybe there's some disenchanted CDC that he wants to bring along with him to
Right.
join to join the ANC. Maybe that's why. They been my friend. That man no plan CDC that he can bring to join the ANC.
Right.
But
He just
wait,
trying to
but
postpone.
the money you're going to be sharing with them, they will say they want you. Well, they go now, they will go for somebody else. But
Wow.
anyway, folks, I'm just being funny.
No, but we really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
On a serious note,
Mhm.
I want to say thank you to you guys for coming to SKTV to make this possible, because sometimes it's good when we are contacted to bring people on, we bring everybody on, but not everybody can deliver. And when you come, you deliver, you do well. It's proud to us as an institution. It also encourages other people to come here and make their case. But if you come here and then we all tie our faces and in combative move, nobody is happy, nobody's smiling. People are even going to be afraid to go to the event. I think you guys did well. Unless you have something else to say, I want to say thank you, and then we can continue our program. Unless You have one. If you want to say
I,
one
yeah.
thing before you go, that's fine.
One closing measure.
Go ahead.
Mention. Join us, please, if you can. As Sierra said, if you can't join us, please consider contributing. But finally, we are all Liberians, and this is about bringing change in Liberia and making Liberia better. Even for those of us who don't live there, every Liberian under the sound of my voice has somebody in Liberia that they care about. And if you care about these people and you want things to be better for them, this is your opportunity to be part of the change that
All right.
Liberia needs. Thank you so much, Sekou and Mayborn. We really appreciate you.
One minute, Shatta. You have 1 minute to go. You good? You got something to say
Well,
before?
Because maybe something.
I
Yeah.
think,
Because
I think Miss Monica said it.
we're about to join the news bulletin now in Liberia.
No,
Okay, thank you so much.
Segu, no,
Yeah.
1 minute, please. No news, no news. At 7.
Okay. No news.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
No
then
news.
we're good.
Because
So
of
that means, so I want to say thank
so
you to you
the,
guys. So folks, stick around. Today is open mic, and we know when we say open mic,
Mhm.
nothing is off the table. Nothing is off limit. And me, I'm ready to talk. All the people that come here to talk, the people they want to talk politics, and we probably we let politics.
No,
So
the
if
people
you are
about
on
money
the
they
radio listening to us,
think
don't turn it off.
Mm.
Stay tuned. If you are following on social media, whether on YouTube or you are on Facebook, stay here. So, folks, thank you very, very much. We'll see you again. Hey, let me tell you, you still have long time, right? If need be, any new information comes up and you want to come on HKTV, feel free to let me know.
Absolutely. Thank
And
you.
we'll bring you
Thank you
guys
so
on.
much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Y'all have a good afternoon.
You too.
Take care.
You too. All right.
So, again, folks, want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Now is politics time, social, economic, whatever you want to talk about. But we want to encourage you to share the show. So, Melbourne, what is on your mind today? Because we got a lot of things going on, from the money to the rights, from the corrupt officials, from sanction officials, from pretty much everything, a lot of things. So, what's on your mind today?
Yes, Segu, you just said it all. You know, there are a lot of things happening here in Liberia, and there are a lot of things actually. But with the drugs issue, 100 million United States dollar worth of drugs that have been seized by the Liberia DEA and the other NSA. This issue really, really something so terrible, because something like happened today at my church. You won't believe. The people were running behind the Zogo, right? Or the disadvantaged guy, and the guy ran straight into the church. How you getting me? Is that you getting me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I was asking you, who was running behind?
Yeah, but they can be taking debt from other community to another community. So I don't know when he took the debt from, and when he placed the debt in someone else. Yeah, so the people that carry the debt in, and the people now started running behind, with a lot of terrible thing, I don't know what they wanted to do to him, so he ran straight into the church. I said the guy make our worship for about minutes. Everything paused because we had to intervene, because the people were like almost entering into the church to getting out. Yeah, it was very, very it was so frustrating on today, but that's the same issue with the drugs issue, because they got a Zoko, Izoko. So with the issue, with the news that broke up on Saturday, I think, or somewhere, yes, on Saturday, about the 100 million dollar worth of drugs that was seized by the LDA and then the NSA, on Saturday by the Guinea-Bissau, right? Guinea-Bissau national by the name of Malen Conte, So $100 million worth of drugs.
That's a lot.
Yes. And this issue, even the drugs enter already, the thing about the entire story is that the drugs already enter. And How the DEA get to know, or even other NSA, is through the same Liberian government. Let me say sorry, through the U.S. government. The U.S. government started to trace that thing that were coming into the country to know as to what were they coming to the country. So security wise, they started to do their own security over and over to find out so what coming there. And after all the investigation, they got to know that in fact that were drugs. So what they do now, they now call the Liberia DEA, start giving them tip through the NSA, start giving them tip up to tell them that something is really happening at Sonny, because there's a freezing area at Topo Village they call Sonny freezing area, where they have freezing food, chicken, and so on. So they're where they carry. So the drugs issue, Seku, actually is so terrible for our people, especially for the young people. I don't know. Because if you just imagine if you're $100 million worth of drugs, you're going to land here peacefully and nobody know about it. Just get in mind that what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years from now on.
That's scary. That's very, very scary.
Seriously, so that one issue on my mind, and the other one has to do with the rest issue. Even though hopefully maybe on tomorrow we hope and pray that maybe government going to intervene about the rest issue, because it's stayed the same up to now. There's nowhere around that you can easily find rest. When people go in the market and cup of rest down is around $70 to $80 Liberian dollars here in Liberia. So it's so scary. So government got to do everything possible that they can do to make sure that at least the people get their food or they get the rest back on the market. So for me, on my mind today, this is a thing that really, really on my mind, especially the drugs issue today, really is something so terrible that I think our people have to look at that so carefully, especially the government, because if drugs can enter $100 million worth of drugs can enter peacefully here, then I don't know that, because we were like complaining that, oh yeah, the sanctions, there were no proof, there were no this and that, and they were kind of claim that people were saying that, oh yeah, they only sanction the people but no claim. Now the same government or the same U.S. government had to trace the drugs until Liberian government they got to almost like, in fact, if you didn't catch it, then they say okay.
So that drugs here was discovered through the help of the United States government.
Exactly.
Don't you think they will also? They may also be aware of people who are enabling this whole drug trafficking.
Thank you. That's another one again coming up. That's another sanction again coming up. Because 100 million. Yeah, go ahead.
Because what's happening is that the issue of the sanction, if you read the document, it was so detailed to the extent that I thought this was something coming from Liberia. I thought it was fake. I thought it was written by Liberians. Because the detailed information, how things happening in Liberia. But now, American government helping to arrest drugs worth of, you see,
100 million. Can you?
$100 million?
Yes.
And for the most part, whether it's the United States, whether it's Africa, whether any country, drug traffickers, they always work with the big shot. They work with the BP people then. People then they can allow them, people then they can control, people that have control and command. People then they can tell people, let this continue go.
Exactly.
Let the truck go. Don't charge, don't even search this truck. And for them to follow up to the point of arrest, they know exactly who are behind it.
Indeed.
But what is the Liberian government saying now?
Well, I think maybe on tomorrow, maybe they may say something about it, or maybe they'll just remain mute. But up to press time, there's no news about maybe them reacting to it yet. Maybe they're still doing their own background investigation and piling up all their reports, because LDA and other NSA are the one that did the arrest. So they are still waiting up, maybe packing up all the document to come back to Liberian people and tell them as to how the drugs enter and so on. And maybe who, like what you were saying, as to who is part, the drugs pass through, because there's no easy way that a container will enter into a country, or maybe, like for example, maybe parcel will enter without or going through inspection. But again, when the big hands somewhere, the small hand will not get power. In fact, you will not even do inspection. You just say, yeah, pass, because if a bossman. So the way he's saying, Segu, I think they got to be careful, because I think U.S. already following up, and they know already exactly who behind the entire drugs business, because that kind of information is that look guy there about 3, and the Guinea-Bissau guy, he's the one that was telling him, almost like a mission ball, Then the real guys, and the guy, as I said, one from Brazil and the other one from somewhere else. So they were like, sending him as a mission boy. He the one there observing all the happening, where the drug going to be, maybe how they're going to distribute it, if they're only Liberia, or maybe they're going to distribute, maybe they are not using Liberia as a central office, or maybe a central place, and begin to maybe to distribute to other nearby countries. Who knows?
So if we are concerned about the disadvantaged youth, people that we refer to as Zogos, if we are concerned about them, about their well-being, with their life, with their future, and the future of other children, what happened to a country where, and one of the major contributing factors to those people's life is drugs. So what will happen if this government, I'm not sure about this particular instance, but I know for a fact, every country where drug trafficking is going on, mostly, for the most part, people in power are responsible. Not all of them, but drug issue, for the most part, it is an organized crime. A big shot, people who are decision makers. They use their power, they use their leverage to control the movement and entrance of these things. As a matter of fact, some of the major consumers of these drugs are also big people.
Yes.
Our ministers, I'm not talking about just in the case of Liberia, but in Africa as a whole. Most of the major consumers of these things, not just the little guys on the street. As a matter of fact, the drugs is so expensive. Look at 100 million United States dollars. How much money is Zogo person get to buy? Most of the major consumers are the people themselves, the leaders.
The bishop.
Because most of the horrible thing they can do, most of the corrupt eye they can do, most of the terrible behavior that they have, you cannot do that when you are a normal person. They always take in drugs to do horrible things. Look at the killing that's been going on in the country. Drugs also is also a contributing factor. If people are now under influence, there are certain things they can't do. So it's very, very important that the government carry on serious investigation, and not only serious but robust investigation as soon as possible. So it can't be one of those cases in Liberia where when something comes up, they say, don't worry about it. After 2 weeks, people forget, and then we move on. I think what I want to do, Melbourne, is that let's open a line to Liberia. In Liberia, let's ask the people what's on their mind. Somebody may be thinking about the drug thing. Sometimes it's nothing to some people right now. Some people are very worried about their stomach right now.
The rest and other stuff.
In the country. And a lot of other things too. So let's open the line to Liberia. When we say open mic, let's open it to the public. Let's hear from them, and then we will open the line to the diaspora. So right now, please, if you're in the diaspora, don't call any of the number right now. Let's take the calls in Liberia first, and right after that, we'll open the line in the diaspora.
All right, and that's good. Well, I was thinking, guess what, this morning, or someone called me this morning while I was getting ready for service. The police said, man, is it SKTV? I said, anything. Say, I want to tell you about my office. I said, hey, God, I'm going to charge you. So you call me by the evening time. I don't know what really happening.
You see, I just said nobody should call in the
Mm,
diaspora, right? Let's
mm.
talk about but look at somebody calling already.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So you can answer both sides.
Let
That's
me
just
take
going to add. So,
let,
mm.
let me take this one person, then we'll go to Liberia. Caller, what is your name and where you calling from? We say no call yet, but you already called. What's going
My
on?
name is Morris Johnson Sekou. I'm calling from the state of North Carolina. How
North,
are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been monitoring the show. Thank you guys very much. But when it comes to the drug issue, maybe if I gave you some information of the drugs they received, they collected yesterday on Saturday,
Hmm.
you would not believe it. You say how this guy in North Carolina and gave me this information.
Go
It
ahead.
was
We like to hear it.
It was three national.
Mhm.
They only arrested one and they let two go because those two guys were white people, so the black guy left in there. And the drugs came in through the airport. Those guys that brought the drugs where the lodging at Royal Hotel. Those three guys. But if I tell you this, I say who took the guy in there, you not be. Look at them was taken there by George Weah's son, Cham Weah. He took the guys to Royal Hotel.
Hmm.
And the place they arrested the drug on the boulevard and also on Japan Freeway. That place is owned by Emmanuel Shaw. He owns that concern. That's the information I'm giving you right now. If you tell I'm lying, check Friday and make sure and see. Thank you.
Hold on. Don't go. Don't you think you just
Yeah. You can't just make that kind of allegation there. So,
the allegation you just made is huge,
mhm.
very, very, very big. So are you saying the president's son is also involved?
Son took those guys to Boulevard Hotel.
Okay. So that means the
And
president.
that place that they rented the drug is owned by Emmanuel Shaw. He got a
Emmanuel Shaw is one of the advisors to the president. But thank you very
Mhm.
much for the information.
Thank you. Check Friday and make sure and see I'm probably sure
All right. Wow.
All right. So,
Uh,
yeah.
Somebody coming from Europe as well. So maybe people.
Okay. No problem. No problem. Go ahead. We'll get more information.
Yeah, I think this is Antric. Antric, how you doing?
Yeah, good evening, Sekou, and good evening to Liberians all around the world and Liberia. Yeah, Sekou,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're a little bit low. Can you speak louder so people in Labrador can hear you?
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is not a surprise to us because you have a government that is controlled and operated by a drug law. We all know that there is a drug, and there was even a case where his friend went and sacrificed himself for him and went to jail instead of him. So you have Leah, who is a drug dealer, and you have a vice president who is a former first lady of a warlord. So Liberia is in a serious crisis. This is why we're telling the Liberian people, and some of us will do everything in our power to make sure that come 2023, we will be out of that country. We already have a serious problem. These Zogos, who they came and destroyed that country and brought war and also they brought war in the country and also use drugs to drug our young brothers and sisters. Now we cannot find no solution for them. Instead of them bringing this amount of drugs in the country, This is that's why I keep telling people, America is tired of one corrupt government to another. They're never gonna sit down and see Liberia go down the drain. America is ready. These are signs to tell you that America is watching over Liberia 24/7. Any move we are, you will be exposed. Any move you make, you will be exposed.
Hmm.
You started with killing innocent people, and now a lot has been raised on you guys for human trafficking and other dealings. Then you switch to your own business, drug dealing. It's not gonna work. America will never allow Liberia to be destroyed or to go down the drain because they have invested too much to allow our country to be destroyed by or total. I don't even know how to. Yeah,
Thank you.
Nigeria is a serious crisis, but we have to fight and save our country because that's the only country we have. We have nowhere the country that will never be deported from. So we cannot allow Nigeria to go down the drain. We all must fight. Those who are standing on the fence, it is time to take a place. Time to take a place. Whether you want to support Waka or you want to support Cummings, you must make your decision and let's put Liberia on the right track. Thank you so much, and God bless Liberia.
Wow. Thank you very much. On that note, before we go to Liberia to take calls, let's welcome our friend, even though he will pay fine, our colleague, Steve Williams,
Yes.
for being late.
Me pay fan today.
Maybe just text me that. Maybe one texted me that Steve just came by. He will pay fine. So, Steve, welcome, Mama. We the news that we're getting now from Liberia is huge, though. That with the assistance of the United States, they arrested 100 million worth of drugs, and somebody just called from North Carolina accusing the president's son to be the one that pick up those guys and drop them off to Boulevard Hotel. And the guy is also saying that there were 3 individuals involved, but 2 of them, because they were not, two of them, because they were light skinned, they were white people. Because in Africa, Brazilian, all the other people, then even Mexican people, then we call it like white people. So no, they're not black. But so they said because 2 of them were white, they let them go, and one in custody is a black skinned person. This is the big news, a very, very big news, especially when America is the one assisting you to discover this. They will know, they will be in the know of who are all involved. And for the president's son to allegedly be in connection with these people that by transporting them, and for Emmanuel Shaw place to be the location where the drugs were allegedly arrested. That's a big deal, Steve. Before we go to Liberia, I want to get your perspective.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kane. Sorry to the viewers and the listeners that we are late, but we are here at least to finish up. Tomorrow we'll expand on this because I've been also getting some information. One of the things I said publicly when it comes to the issue of drugs or the issue of Zugu or whatever it is in Liberia, and the drug that was arrested was cocaine. Tomorrow we'll talk a little more about what cocaine does and how it impacts people. It's yes, Mr. Kane, you're right. We're doing the necessary research and making the necessary connections here to make sure that we provide tomorrow some solid information, some of the links, those who are connected to this, because this is not mutually exclusive. This is a huge connection. This is a huge deal. This is not the first time these guys have been doing this. But again, this is to tell you 2 things. That first of all, the president just spoke in a UN General Assembly saying that they're creating homes for Zogos or whatever it is, or they're building rehabs or whatever. But then the contradiction to that also is here is this huge influx of 100 million. Do you know what 100 million United dollars is worth of drugs? Do you know what that can do? So, Mr. Kane, this is problematic. But then the piece that you add also that in United States, now let's take away the United States. Why if the US are not intervening or coordinated this? this bill probably would have gone through.
Because we don't even know how many have already gone through.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So
And
if
Vin.
Emmanuel Shaw is connected to this, how far is this? Who all knows about this? Within the executive or around the president knows about this? Is the president aware of this? We are yet to hear from the authority and other people who are in power to ensure. But I want to take us back just a little bit because, like I said, tomorrow we'll talk about this in details. We're not going to pass it around because the president wants to distract. The president was at church today trying to create another narrative talking about how our rehab is Miami or whatever it is. The president can go on our side without foolish talk. He and foolish people, they all can join together. We got serious issue that we'll be discussing. Any serious minded president, this kind of situation under you, it could be a win or it could be a win or it could be a lose. I would have expected the president, if he wanted to throw a jab or make fun on the pulpit, because we by our own religion, has been disrespected anyways. That won't, there's nothing we can do about it. But I challenge him, he can carry that foolishness in the mosque. He can carry it to the mosque. He knows he can carry it and go talk foolishness on in the mosque. He can do that because the sanctity and the way how the Muslim community preserve and respect their religion, they don't allow people to just go talk loosely there, especially people listening to sermon and you go talk foolishness. You know, but fast forward to the issue here, the president wants to divert or try to go away from this information and the rights issue. No, we're not going to go away from that. We don't care what a rehab, even in a bedroom set can be Miami, like a business. We don't care about that. It's not important to the Liberian people. What's important that what we need to be discussing? I thought he would have said something about that. I thought the president would have said something about the rice business today when he went to church because that's a place he can use to talk to the Liberian people. But he sat there and talked a bunch of foolishness. And when we say he talks foolishness, they say we don't respect the president. But that's complete nonsense. You know, but again, Mr. Kane, remember one of the representative that took over Sir Joseph. That guy, I'm just forgetting his name. The representative that won Colina Kura.
Flomo.
Papi Flomo.
They're going Papi Flomo or Color Green.
Or Color Green, thank you.
Papi Flomo has been linked with this issue of drugs in the country. Papi Flomo has been linked to it. But not only that, remember also one of the DA officials, one lady, the House of Representatives called her, she changed her statement when she went that time. And apparently, they forgot the case because she passed out in there that day. Mr. Kane, this is a big connection. And tomorrow we'll talk more about it. But let's hear from the Liberian people because these things are not mutually exclusive. This is what making the population of Zogo.
Yeah, but before we hear from the Liberian people, Steve.
Yes.
What do you make of the fact that the president's son, Cham, I don't know, Cham or Tim or whatever, was the one that allegedly was the one that transported those guys to the hotel? Does that mean that the president himself could be implicated? Well, because if the president's son is implicated, I mean, what about his son?
Well, Mr. Kane,
what about the president himself?
Our president is known for liking himself and saving himself. I don't think, even if his son or his children or his family member were implicated, I think they would do the McGill thing. They would rather save the president,
throw them under the bus and save himself.
Throw them under the bus and save themselves. That's exactly what's going to happen. You can rest assured on that one. But the fact that it came
but if America is following, trust me.
Oh yes, no. In terms of
whoever is involved, even if the president is involved, no matter how you want to throw someone under the bus, they will know.
No, in terms of holding them accountable, I agree with you that someone will be held accountable, whether it is the president's son or whoever is involved, as long as it is proven and corroborated and the facts are established. Something has to be done about this, Mr. Kane. Something has to be done about this. Liberia cannot be the dump site of drugs and other. This is what's running the country the way it's running it. This is what's running the country the way it's running it. And so they drug these guys. Some of them, they numb them, they get it on cocaine, other thing, they get these guys addicted. And these guys are useless. They only use them now for electoral purposes and they get rid of them. Or some of them, they use them to just do bar. Look, these are some of the drugs they were using during the war. I'm telling you, that's why I always say.
Let's go to Liberia.
That's why I always say, Mr. Kane. That's why I've always said, based on what I know now, the DDD program did not do us well. It didn't do us well. You can have 12 years of civil war where people are addicted to different kinds of drugs, and you only implement a program for
you talking about the DDR or what?
I don't know, DDRR, DDD or whatever.
Yeah, that's the name. DDRR. The
What
disarmament. Yeah.
the disarmament, rehabilitation, all these different
Mhm.
titles they give them. But like I said,
Yeah.
tomorrow we'll get into it in details because Mr. Kane, this thing is deeper than we think. This is a syndicate. This is how these guys make their money as well, undercover. They sell these drugs, they bring them in the streets, they sell them, they get people high, they get people on them, they do all kind of things. They do all kind of things. No wonder why these guys have not even prioritized the issue of drugs in the country. Part of the reason they don't prioritize it when you talk about it is and they sing different song. When you talk about they say like bro.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Because there are ghettos everywhere. There are ghettos every community you go in here in Liberia, every district you enter in, there are ghettos everywhere. So drugs business now in Liberia is like sport. Because the Zogos, they can't see it like in front of their food. So even the poor community or dweller, what kind of country that you will continue to talk one thing over and again, and the government after that, let me hear you.
Yeah, but
let's hear from the people. Then we
Mr. Khan, let me address that point. Let me address that point. Let me address that point. Milborn made the problem with it. The problem with the issue of drugs. Milborn, you just said people don't listen. The issue of addiction is more than listening. It's more than listening. Most of these young people, some of these older people are addicted to drugs. Now, there has to be a way to help them from a clinical and a professional standpoint. There has to be a way. Talking to them will not. That thing why I see in Labro, I see people sometimes praying for them, they do not want to carry them to church. It will not solve the problem. They will leave from that church, they will get back in the street, and they'll get addicted to it. But like I said, tomorrow we'll talk more in details about the drugs. We want to establish where it came from, all of that. And the government is running away from that conversation, but we need to talk about it.
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to talk more about that. But okay, so you can call now to be part of the show on tonight 0770-2031-25 0770-2031-25. What on your mind is open mic, but I know there are a lot of us today. Maybe we want to talk about some of the drugs issue, or maybe there are a lot of issues that we want to talk about. So please in your calls 0770-2031-25 again 0770-2031-25, and you'll be live on Truth FM 96.1. Let me get to the line and pick my first call. Hello. Yeah, how you doing, my brother? What's your name and from where you join us? Okay, Ben. What's on your mind?
Yeah, what's on my mind is the drug business. So the problem we're in, actually we are.
Oh, okay. So keep a calls coming to 0770-2031-25. Best of the line. So I don't know what happened, but let me get to the line and pick the call. Hello. Yeah, how you doing? What's your name and from where you join us?
I'm the company pastor William P.S. Malcolm, speaking from Grand Pastor.
Okay, Pastor, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the show, and it's very interesting. Although the drug in the left for the extra because it will never finish in that year.
Why you say so?
Brother Joe, who they call DEO, they are the ones that even they arrest the drug and give it to people to sell. So it's not easy.
All right.
So that. Pray for God to deliver the country.
All right, that's what Steve said. Prayer. I can't some prayer, something not prayer, but I just action. Thank you, Pastor. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, how you doing? What's the name and from where you join us? Yeah. So what happened? If I keep a calls coming to 0770-2031-25. You know, whenever I jam the line too much, then yeah, no way for. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, how you doing? What's your name and from where you join us?
Morris, I call from Bannersville.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, concerning the drug issue. You see, in this country, when the president newly took over, the president called those Zogos and sat with them, ate with them here in the vice president, Madam Judah Howard Taylor. And this just a clear example that the president was to put the act of Zogo. And they able to get money. All the jobs, It's millions of dollars drugs that American is stealing today. They are bringing to the brain of our president, of the country that we're listening to. So we are spoiling in that thing. There's nobody can come and run. The president is not in that thing. Even when president being football, he in that thing. So, no, there's no sugar coating anything. The president is aware of our drugs. So, we get out the American to help us. And if you consider the red class, everyone remember 1979, I've been here. You see, today we're buying $100 this and already. But some people are in lust. Not long, but they're in lust with this government. So they will sit and talk. A lot of foolishness out there.
Thank you. Don't go that way. Hello? The line is so jammy. Hello? Oh, they freezing my phone. Keep a calls coming to 0770203125. Hello? Yeah, how you doing? What's your name and from where, Jonas?
I'm calling from Antipi. It's been a moment. It's on 15 minutes.
All right. That's in fact so good. And you said that too. So, what on your mind?
My brother, thank you. Here, our country, John, the very color of talking about. Until we see everything will go now. But we not depend the government now. Because the government, the first government have a go building then how is drug business in the country? Our president John one, our children will not do nothing for yourself for tomorrow. Now all he on. Because just imagine, look at man what he did this today. Country looking at that. Back away, I don't know if you ever know, but back away, half there, for half back away. The president see that one he did yesterday yourself basing his wedding. That one people can be talking about former president can they tell us? They want to do something the country was shit for one time people are selling cataract. Why he did? He didn't know how money, but he sent banana on the street. He back for one time to cataract. Which means I'm not feeling for his.
All right. Yeah, we're not going to do 1 minute because other people, they last really jam. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, but what's your name? And from where, John? Please, 1 minute. Just what's on your mind? Just talking. And yeah. Okay, George, go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. The main point is concerned with the red bread.
Okay, what happened?
The red bread is very high. One cup of red is $100. And also, one half of it is $4,850. So the government need to work on it because it's not easy. The common people are suffering. To find rest today is not easy. So they need to work on it. They got the rest of their country they enjoy it, but they need to work on it because that's today. They buy cars to make a check all of to eat it. They need to work on it.
Okay.
That's it for the program.
All right, they need to work on the rest issue today, caller. Hello?
Good evening, my friend and brother.
Yeah, my brother, good evening. What's your name and from where you join us? Oh, hello, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. What's your name?
I'm saying my name is Daniel Kirin Kabak calling from Hong Kong this evening.
Okay, Daniel, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Look, my brother, this trust in it, you don't need rocket scientists to tell you that this government cannot eat it. For example, this guy was accused of being importing drugs in this country. And guess what? Listen to the kind of people need that link to this drug business. The Maya Shaw, Cham Weir. And they're joking with the Americans. They didn't know the world get information on them. That's a bit joking. When they think of somebody in the place that they don't know what a driver is in Morocco. Thank you.
Thank you so much. From where there in Bon County, I forgot I didn't ask you for how back arrest on our side, but anyway, I guess maybe you're gonna call back. Hello? Yeah, how you doing? What's your name and from where you join us? My brother got pull this train in your voice. What happened, Mama? You hungry? From where? From Bapolu? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the way the people make it is looking at that just looking at that president, yes, that is quality. It doesn't mean when it comes to other countries, it becomes more for you to become in the country and all for it. Yes, there is very little weapon here. One day, all of them, still have to fight. Thank God. But the president at all. You buy it, but they want it a lot. Nana, we are going to give it a 4,000, but you are a 50,000, or your 5,000 for next week.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
Nana will be the weapon.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Even though your line is very, very, I don't know how, but keep your calls coming. I don't know. I must say allowed to take few calls.
Yeah, take few more, then take like two more, then we will go to the diaspora.
Okay, that's great. So, other would be that lucky call. Hello. Yeah, how you doing? What's your name and from where you join us?
I kept my name calling from the people room.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, my brother, this church that we're talking about, one of the people just said that the president is in it. It is true, my brother, because when you go to what they call Jamaica, you see our ministers, our government officials.
Because your manship, all the blame on the president now, there you go, Lord, some kind of, somebody behind it too. That's on a female.
Yeah, but he's supposed to make sure that he puts stop to it. Look at our brothers there on the street. Look at our sisters there. Look at the way they look. A few years from now, you think what would be happening to the country? A few years from now.
You see, young man.
You see old men that's going to be advising their children. They all inside. You go in the community, you see job. So get to in Morovia now. It's not in Morovia, but all of Morovia, you go in the villages.
All the 15 counties in Liberia get Zokus. All the 15 counties. Yeah, all the 15 counties. That's just the fact.
Few years from now, where are we going? Where are we heading when we call them our future dealers? You go into various schools, they are there. You see, so they just, I don't know what we'll do now. I don't know what we'll do.
Yeah,
because every day, so many recruiting people. Every day, so many recruiting people. So I don't know.
Okay, I don't know, but like Steve said, there's some action sometimes. You don't need too much of prayer because the prayer says you should be radical. So maybe you can be radical, but how can be? So yeah. So Sekou and other Steve, let me just take the call as the last call, then we'll get back to you guys on that side so that we can take call from that side. Yeah, hello, how you doing?
Hello. Yeah, William say I'm calling from Fender.
Okay, go ahead, William. You are our last caller in Liberia.
The only way we can see that the drugs business is being action. Actually, action.
But 100 million worth of drugs can enter. Hello, when 100 million worth of drugs can enter now. That 100 million can build all the roads in the southeast.
They just there for money. DAPO just there. When they get their 2 cents, then the people pass. So the thing we need to do now, because they are planted Zoko in the DEA and all the places.
Oh.
They need to train them before they employ them. You can't just tell somebody don't put them in something because they won't work. There's the only way that the action we need to take.
The LDA boss said that in fact the lawmaker that should take tests. The people said no, in fact they were yeah. But they were getting vexed.
When you go to the house, the way they talk to you know.
Oh.
When you see someone there live, you know they been smoking.
Oh.
They got rough. They must test there. Screen all the people before they get in any government position.
Okay.
And our bonus. The people who send it to the bonus, they making us, drugs to enter to.
But I don't know when they get security now because if you get 100 million worth of drugs, it's not small thing. 100 million? It's not small thing. What?
Even though the bonus is poor, but we don't have security.
Okay, thank you. So let me get So Stephen Sekou, I think we are done in Liberia. So you can go to the line on our side, so we can get a view of the people on our side too.
So yes, so this is what we like to do from now on. At least let the people in Liberia call. Let's listen to them. Then they too can be there and listen to us, and they can listen to other callers here too. Well, when we just do Liberia at the last minute, and then they don't have the opportunity to listen to people from this side, that is not good. But you see, if you listen to the concerns of Liberians that just call, people are very concerned. And I'm hoping that the allegation that the president's son is associated with these guys, or Emmanuel Shaw, who is the advisor to the president, is connected to this. I'm hoping that that's not true. But if that becomes the case, and America is following this. America it was part of this process to arrest these drugs. If that is the case, I can tell you that George Weah and his government, they are done. I can tell you this.
Hmm.
Drug is an organized crime.
Mm-hmm.
Drug money laundering are taken very seriously by the American people because they know the effect. Terrorism is connected to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Terrorism is connected to money laundering. America just sanctioned three big government officials for corruption. And in fact, this revelation, this arrest, communicates something else bigger than what we are looking at. They say with assistance of the United States, these drugs worth of millions, hundreds of $1 million. It means that America is paying attention, and not only paying attention, but trying to get their hand on everything. So when they act, people can say this is just a fabrication. This is just what we know now. What about what we don't know?
Mm-hmm.
So the lines are open in the diaspora. But before we go to the line, Steve, you just heard from our people from Liberia. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. It's just unthinkable. But go ahead with your question. This is just unthinkable.
All right. Hold on. Let me take this call, then I'll go to the question.
Yes.
Paula, what is your name and where you calling from? 605 number.
Hey, brother Sekou, how you doing? This is Mr. Ivan P.
Go ahead,
Brother
Evan.
and Steve and our brother in Liberia. Been following the show. I would just move. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for the show. Thank you guys for the show. It's very informative. And after I started following the show, my heart was just beating and pounding. This is unbelievable. Because a lot of us who live in the diaspora here have seen even America that have all the sophistication, rehabilitation center and the technology to track down on drug. See the war, they are still fighting. Even in Philadelphia, they call it zombie land right now. You walk there, you see people get a zombie sleeping on the bridges. So imagine the kind of quantity of substance being in our country, small country like Liberia. And Brother Sekou, let me say this. You can't tell me that this thing is run by a commoner or just small potato.
No.
Not that kind of amount of drugs to enter Liberia. This is serious. This is devastating. And every Liberian, for every watch of life, should make the voice heard. Because drugs war is not a small war to fight.
No.
I would better have the bullet flying than to fight drugs war. Even in South Africa right now, there are places that drugs are infected that you can't even park your car. The moment you come out of your fence, the video been going all over the place. Some other place called Guatemala. When these guys then get addicted to those drugs, they will even kill you just for something like not even you can even take a human being life for.
For 20, they can kill you for $20 just to get money to go buy drugs.
Right. And with the kind of amount we are talking about, you can't tell me say it's just a little hands on these things. This drug thing is connected to big of faith. Nobody that is just rarely in the drugs business will bring that kind of quantity into the country. And the way the drugs enter the country, my brother, with nobody. So let's say if we didn't have a miracle to catch this thing, what will happen now?
I don't even know.
It's very serious.
I don't know.
It's serious.
Yeah.
Every Liberian from everywhere should be worried.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Steve, my question to you is that um, this is a big deal, but assuming that the information that we are getting that the president's son was the one that dropped those guys off. So I got two questions. If America assisted you guys to arrest the people and the drugs, what America going to do or what America going to say about the two that were left or that were let go? One. Secondly, if Emmanuel Shaw is connected and the president's son is connected, do you think America get more information than we know about them? Or
Well, Mr. Kane, I'm not laughing because of what's going on. 2 days ago, I posted something on my page, and I'll read what I posted. Tomorrow, like you said, tomorrow, like all of us are agreeing, we'll really focus on the drug and the rights issue. I asked this question: is this the end of the CDC government?
oh, you posted that yesterday?
Yes, President Weah is a one-term president, signed and sealed. Next move is his administration must be audited. No time to play. What you just said, people would think people want to play politics. No, we don't want to play politics. This is not a moment of I got you. No, it's not. This has nothing to do with opposition. And I can say this squarely, that if any opposition is found culpable into this mess that's going on, let that opposition be held liable as well. And if possible, let them be kicked out of the position. This is a national concern, a serious national concern. But not only that is a serious national concern, it has an attachment, as it's been alleged. We are following up with the story, Mr. Kane. As it's been alleged, we are following up with what's going on with this drug issue, who's connected to it, because we need to know who's connected to it. We need to know. The same thing with the rights issue. I had a privilege last night to have a conversation with someone. I'm not going to disclose the name here for their own security and so forth. But this person alerted me to some sensitive information, that to the point that even the new guy that has been appointed in Nathaniel McGill's position, his connection to George Weah. Let me tell you something, Mr. Kane. These guys have a gang that they're operating. Fonati Kofa Esenese to the deputy speaker, it's not a joke. He has a connection with this guy who is the new in place of McGill.
Say the
Minister of State.
the IT.
Oh, yes.
This guy, they want to secure this guy. This thing is bigger than we think. President John Weah got himself into some beautiful nonsense, and this is the kind of thing he like. But the only thing about this is he brought it to the wrong set of people. I said this from the day President George Weah became president. I said he became president for the wrong generation and the wrong time. Ellen got away with certain things because of the age of technology. It was not too big at that time. Had Ellen been president that day,
it would have been different.
It would have been different. But George Weah fell down inside the wrong time in this time. So because he fell down inside in the wrong time, George Weah will be used as an example to every other Liberian president that will come around.
I think something happened with Steve. So
something happened with me?
No, I'm talking about your network. You're not coming through, so I have to. Are you getting me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I'm getting you now.
I said President George Weah became president in the wrong time for the wrong generation because of the age of technology.
All right.
And Mr. Kane, the statement that you made earlier, some people might take it for a joke. If this, and yes, Mr. Kane, there are a lot more information about this drug dealing, where it came from, who's coordinating what. That is how the Liberian security apparatus were tipped off on this. It was not by the Liberian, because some of them Some of them are part of the whole syndicate, so they know exactly what's going on. So the Americans tipped them off. The reason why they even acted on it was because of the tip of the Americans. Had the American not gotten involved, I can tell you they would have never acted on it. They would have never acted on this tip off. So, Mr. Cannon, this is a good thing for the country. It's a good thing for the country, and we'll hope and see how this trip will play. But tomorrow we'll be able to let the library people know exactly what's going on behind the scene and some of the negotiation. But you're further inside again.
All right. We'll take us some calls here. Let's take the caller here. I think Mr. Maulo is back here on the politic time now. Mr. Maulo, how are you?
Yeah, yeah, Siko, thank you. Look, this thing is extremely, extremely important for the Liberian people. This happens to be in my wheelhouse. This is what I studied. This is what I know. Listen, for American security system to go and let the Liberian system, there's a whole ring they already know. They follow this thing from the source. They came to Liberia, and that is not the first time, I can guarantee you. They've been collecting information with who all involved. The quantity of drug that they found, that's a Mexican kind of operation, Nicaraguan kind of operation. That means it was not for Liberia. Liberia is being used as a hub. And they follow it. And why they expose it? Because they think something to happen. Mark my word today. The thing that's supposed to happen is coming to happen. That's the reason why they made it public. That quantity that they found over there, everybody in the government that has any nose into it will fall. Mark my word today. They're ready to deal with them.
Mr. Maulo, I'm trying to understand this. Since this is your area, assuming I'm not speculating, just based on the information that we receive, assuming that the president's son was the one that dropped those guys off at the hotel. Does that mean the president himself could be implicated? Possibly be implicated?
I just told you, Siku, you understood the English I spoke.
I did, but I want other people to understand it clearly.
You know how to understand it. I said, it's a ring, and they follow the ring. Is this the first time you're hearing that Michael Duncan, who is his brother-in-law, is operating with Cham in a drug? That's not my first time hearing it. It's not my second time. You understand? This operation that happened, it got exposed for one reason, because they're ready to bring them down.
Thank you.
They're ready to bring them down. So watch it play. And people will get so nervous, you come and see all kind of things happening. Because people want to go crazy. It's so scared right now, they don't know what to do. Wow. Watch the game play out.
Wow, my brother, thank you very much. Whew. This is getting scary, to be honest. It's getting scary. If you're not scared, then you don't know what's going on. So, caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Last 4 DJ is 7703.
Yes, hi, Sekou. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing?
Robert calling from the beautiful Garden State.
Go ahead, Letitia.
So, Sekou, what is so scary is just this morning, me and my husband were having a conversation about a young man that we know that was sent back to Liberia. We're just talking about the drug infestation on the young people. How this boy father takes care of him, but because he is on drugs, he goes and sits in the market, on the benches and stuff. It's not just him. I'm talking about all of the young people that have been affected How is it all of a sudden Liberian young people, we all grew up in Liberia. How is it all of a sudden our children are being used? I mean, just young people are being, because this has been running. During the Trump administration, he didn't care because he felt that African leaders are the problem to Africa. So he didn't really care. But we are under a new administration that is looking at Africa and looking, because what affects Africa affects the world. And Liberia is a national security threat. Okay? So now Uncle Ken has been watching, but now they are tired because it's like we're just letting these people die. And at some point someone needs to stand up for Liberia.
Thank you.
Uncle Ken is stand up.
Wow.
I want to talk one more thing.
We got less than 1 minute on the radio. I just wanted you to conclude while we're on the radio.
Okay, thank you. Instead of our president speaking on practical issues that affect the people of Liberia, such as the stable rights, he talks about his personal issues with this brown man. Something is wrong with this man. Something is wrong that he's not even cognizant of the issues that plague our country. But I want to say that more to come. I agree with all of the previous callers. Liberia is on the radar. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, folks, on the radio, I want to say thank you for following SKTV through Truth FM 96.1. We'll be here tomorrow again. We're still going to be here on Facebook. But for the radio, I want to say thank you to the management and team of Truth FM, specifically our friend and colleague who is making this possible, Johnston Mayborn Kula. Mr. Kula, before you go, you have any last thing to say?
Yes, I just want to say thanks to our people, especially for those of you on our side, Sekou and Steve and the rest of our people there in the diaspora. I think now we are in the modern world, new age, so everything now is open. You can see it. In fact, you know how the country look, everything. So I think all we got to put hands together to make sure that at least Liberia be the best among the other countries in Africa, especially right here in West Africa. We got to disagree to agree, but Mama Liberia come first. And with the issue of drugs, is just so terrible that the information that I just gave you today, how to go there and intervene and take some of the weapons from some of the guys, with shovel and so on. They really wanted to really beat on that disadvantaged guy or Zogo. So it's just so bad for our young people. And I don't know, but the country, all the 15 counties, or Sekou, let me just tell you the truth. There are Zogos everywhere. All the 15 counties in Liberia, Zogos everywhere. No part of Liberia you go, you don't see Zogos. So it's just a tradition now. In fact, time will come that the people, they'll just be the normal people by themselves, just be having other people and job. I don't know. So we just making another new set of people that are going to embarrass the next generation, and we don't care. And what's happening now? So I just want to say thanks to all of you, Steve. I'll see all of you, and that will be on tomorrow again by the grace of God.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Steve. So we still have a caller here, but because I didn't want to hold the radio station hostage, let's get to the caller here. I think this is my brother Prince. Prince, how are you, sir?
Yes, Sekou, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, but I'm just shocked and concerned about this news coming out of Liberia. It's very concerning. What's on your mind?
Sekou, I feel your need to be concerned, and specifically that's the reason I thought to call, because I want to speak to my fellow seditian and those who love George Weah. Some of you thinking and saying that all the people just they are creating. We may go far to say that the American government is targeting Weah purposely because they don't like him. But I want to say to you, America doesn't do those things.
The reason why America is concerned because global village. We live in a town that is almost like a pond. When you throw the pebble in the pond, it's just a matter of time before the effect of that ripple reaches to the shore of every end of it of that pond. And given what America went through prior to 9/11, if America did their investigation and they tried to figure out how those guys were successful to penetrate the American intelligence services, and they came to carry out such a devastating attack on the United States that led to the death of many American citizens. And they found out that it's through these sort of means, these sort of sinister means, drug trafficking, human trafficking, prostitution, all these sort of criminal activities.
Money
laundering.
laundering.
That these guys were able to fund it, get the funding in a way that the American government couldn't trace them back to them, that led to them to have been successful. So if you see America putting sanctions on McGee, it's not because they don't let we are government, because the American data is so liquid, it's so desirable and so protected economically that its potential is exponential and goes beyond just America. So my fellow Liberian and my fellow citizen, America is struggling to protect its citizens, like SECU is concerned. America is concerned to protect its territorial integrity, because at the end of the day, when the global village we're in, we have this relationship. That drugs goes, the reason the drug trafficker took that drugs to Liberia, because they know the relationship between Liberia and America. They know SECU are here, we have family there. You know how easy it is that they could slip through. And so just want to tell the Liberian people that the government we are is the one who are bringing this on themselves. It's not people targeting them or people just going after them because they don't like them. Everybody is at risk. So if you see America acting because America wants to protect its citizens, foreign and not only foreign and domestic, not only in America, but those who are all over the world. So if the we administration was doing the thing that any leadership should do to protect its citizens out there, they wouldn't have been in the situation they're in right now. So
Thank you.
If you know we are, call upon him to call we are and tell him to stop what they are doing. Stop the criminal activities. Stop putting everybody around the world at risk. I mean, just because you want to get some money here, you want to because greed. So, I mean, that's all I have to say, and I hope that we understand that America, like we are government, is not being targeted. It's a criminal syndicate. It's the cartel that Eugene Fagon spoke about, and he got put out of the cartel because he was not cooperating. So in order for to defeat the cartel, we must speak about it as we are doing right now. And thanks to SKTV and the family for giving us the opportunity to do it. Thank you all so much. God bless you all.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. So, Steve, I don't know. Tomorrow,
Can you hear me?
Yes, tomorrow we're going to expand on this. But before we go, Mr. Mawula said something that this is not the first time. But he said one of the reasons why this is exposed is because they are ready to take the perpetrators down. And if I may ask you, the origin of this drug, because before America can even tip off Liberian to tell Liberian security, hey, this is what it is, they must have been following the drug from the origin. And if that is the case, individuals connected to it from the origin of the drug all the way to Liberia, they should be aware of that as well. So you think if America will take any action, and I believe they will, It ain't going to be now or later.
Well, let me expand on something that Mr. Marlo said just as a teaser for tomorrow, because tomorrow on show by will be very, very noisy. Yeah, you don't want to miss tomorrow's show. This is a regional West African national concern. It's more than Liberia. Let me say again. This is bigger than just Liberia. It's a serious threat in the region because there are two things playing here. First of all, the issue of drug trafficking. But then second of all, it has to do with money. Who are the funders? Who are receiving the money? What's going on? Is Liberia just the hub, like Mr. Marlo said, for it to be transported or share or push on to other African countries in the River Union around there? That means Ivory Coast, Guinea, Sierra Leone, first of all, will be the primary people that will be affected. Is that targeted towards West Africa at large?
Hmm.
This is bigger than we think. If President George Weah thinks he can go to church and talk nonsense and not focus on this, he's off for a rude awakening. This is not a joke. Not only that, the second guy that Mr. Marlo mentioned, apart from the champ Weah, who picked him up, the second person that Mr. Marlo mentioned has something to do with this president's wife. Her brother is a Jamaican. Her brother is doing serious business in Liberia. This guy has been followed, not today. Somebody tipped the United States government up on this issue. Like I said, tomorrow we'll talk about this in depth. Right now, this is big. This is not a joke. The president's behavior today, where more Liberians saw in church that you were acting confused, talking nonsense, it's a sign of panic, fear, and confusion. The president is panicking. This is problematic. Let no opposition, because opposition put your quote to get distracted. You forget about Joe. We can even say bare room that Miami that his business. We don't care about that. We know something is not okay there about maybe the president talking the way he's talking because it don't make any sense. That's not important. What's important is let's focus on this drug issue. Let's focus on the rights issue. These are prevalent issues that we should be discussing as citizens of Liberia, as born Liberians, as people who got vested interest in our country. That what we should be discussing. So tomorrow, I'm begging your opposition people, your leader, small, stupid talking and that. You don't let, we can say in Liberia, you don't let Joe and people to detect the narrative. When there are serious issues, they try to distract you. You don't do it. The same way how when there's pandemic and other serious issue, the president will produce music. The president not crazy. He know what he's doing. He just want to distract from the seriousness and the focal point. The focal point is this drug issue. And Mr. Kane, the House of Representatives, all three branches of government are implicated into this. Is this? Here's the question that we should think about before we go to bed tonight. Is this the setup to indict members of all three branches of government? Because not only family members will be implicated, there are big hands behind this thing. Big hands.
Well, to be honest with you, this is bigger than we can ever imagine.
Yep.
And I cannot process this at this point. That's why I'm being muted and sitting just listening. And as we are speaking, people are sending more information. But we like to collaborate information. We like to authenticate information before we speak on it publicly.
Exactly.
So I'm concerned. I'm seriously concerned. And this is not a threat coming from me. But I see this as a potential beginning of the end of Weah administration. It could be the beginning of the end of the Weah administration. Because you know what? No matter how you put it, assuming that Weah is not connected, but Weah is the president of Liberia, under his leadership, if 100 million worth of drugs can enter Liberia, and your advisor is allegedly the one, the receiver, allegedly, and your son is allegedly the transporter of those people, if that is the case, this is beyond election.
Yep.
This is more than who become the next president of Liberia. No, this is way beyond that. This is about going to jail. You know, the international community, they don't take drugs issue lightly. And when you are involved with it, they will do everything to take you down because they see you as an international threat. They see you as threat to the international peace and security. That's how big this is. But again, we already hit the 2 hours mark. We already 2 hours 11 minutes. We will leave it here for today. We will do more research. We'll do more evaluation. We'll do more investigation. We'll investigate information that we are receiving. We'll talk to more people, including people in Liberia. Somebody said no cost today. We open the line. A lot of people call. Maybe you just got here.
Yeah, we can take a course.
We can close now and get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, Mr. Kenneth, thank you.
I'm not sure if you're going to be here tomorrow. You're going to be available tomorrow?
Oh, yes. 100%.
Okay. Tomorrow is Monday, though.
Relax.
I just making sure. Make sure you're on top of your game.
We inside. Relax.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will leave it with you. Thank you, Mr. Kenneth.
All right. So, folks, we'll leave it there for today. This is concerning. It is disturbing. Very much disturbing. Yeah, so we have to leave it there for today. I'm concerned. Trust me. And I hope Liberian people are watching and listening. Those of you who are worried about sanction on government officials, if this information is right, this could be a sanction on the country. The entire government could be sanctioned. And some people could be arrested. Drugs is international crime. Money laundering is an international crime. Huge sanction, possible arrest, prosecution are possible. But again, come here tomorrow. By that time, maybe we will have more information to share with you. Like I said, while we were on the show, people are sending us information. But we don't like to talk about information that we haven't authenticated. We like to dig deeper to investigate our information before we can come and share with you. But this is concerning. I'm praying for Liberia. This is beyond politics. And I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow.